So next we're going to talk about batch posting. GP runs everything through a batch. Even though there is a transactional post, it still puts it into a batch with the person's name on it, but it is a batch style posting. So individual tractions in all modules. So all modules, when I enter an individual module or transaction, as you see on the left, we have both a save or a post. They are mutually exclusive. We either save or we post. We can't do both. So if I save it to a batch, I can then save it. I can enter a bunch of journal entries or a bunch of AR entries or a bunch of AP entries, print out an edit list, and get it approved, and then come back and post the whole batch as a set. We can post individually by hitting the post button, and that will then bypass that. In the background, it actually does assign a batch to that particular transaction. We can also post by batch. So when we bring up that batch, we bring up the batch, and you'll see the one that's in the middle. It says that there's 2 transactions in there. And then we can also approve those batches. So we can send that batch around for approval and get approval for it so that you can then approve it, so that you can hire a temp to do some data entry and then send it to somebody who wants to look at it. There's also a post all batches. I've only shown the one for the series GL, but there is also the availability to do this by each of the modules has a series post, as well as there's a master posting, which allows you to post all batches from all modules all at once. And again, you can use that batch approval process that you can see in the middle one. It's got the user ID and the approval date at the bottom, and then the checkbox for approval. And it asks for a password each time you hit the approve button so that you can approve that to move forward.
Okay, within Business Central, one of the biggest things you're going to find different is the way it handles batches. So Business Central does have batches, but it only has them for journals. So you see that top one, that was my general journal screen, and then I have 3 different batches in my general journal screen. You can also do batch level approval, just like you can in GP workflow, or you can do line level approval workflow. The bottom screen, what we're seeing there, this is a list page coming from the sales, I think this was the documents. So you can do what's called batch posting. So I can multi-select a bunch of different documents that are still open within there, and then I could post as a batch, meaning together, but they're not actually within a batch like you would see, like a container like you would see within GP. And so one of the biggest things people ask about is their edit list. So because we don't have edit list in Business Central, we have what's called posting preview. So a lot of functionality where you go to post, you'll see the option to do a test post or a preview posting. You can click on that, it looks for errors, and it will show you a summary of all the postings that will occur if everything's successful.